Hello and welcome to Stitch and Fiction. I know it's been a while since I put a video out. This summer was a bit stressful. Nothing too dire, just lots of little stuff piled up that completely derailed a lot of the creative projects I had planned for the summer, but I'm getting back on track. To get back into the swing of things, I wanted to make a project that would be fairly quick and hopefully not too challenging, so I'm going to try making a doily. I have never actually made a doily before, but I have seen plenty of them, and most of the ones that I've looked at use stitches and techniques that I have frequently used in other projects, so I'm not super concerned about this being too difficult. I plan to use the finished doily as a wall hanging because I have empty space on my wall back there, and my little maximalist heart just cannot stand that. In searching for a pattern, I decided to narrow in on mid-century. Personally, in looking at vintage patterns, I have found around the 1940s onwards is when they start to look more like modern patterns, and a lot of the 40s ones that I have done, I don't think they need to be translated first like some of the older patterns do. So for an easier project, 1940s or later would probably be my best bet. This search introduced me to the concept of ruffled doilies, which are interesting. Especially this one, which looks like it'll poke your eye out if you get too close. I will be foregoing the 3D elements. I have decided to make this sterling picot doily. At first glance, all the stitches look pretty familiar, and I think this will look really nice stretched across an embroidery hoop for hanging, so this seemed perfect for my purposes. This pattern is from the American Thread Company's booklet, which is aptly named Doilies. There is no date on this booklet, but based on the photographs, I'm guessing it's from the 1940s or 50s. This pattern is available for free online, and as usual, I have linked it down in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. I will be using this lace weight cotton thread in a dusty rose color and a 1.5mm hook. I bought this thread for another vintage project that is currently in the works, and as usual, I vastly overestimated how much I was going to need, so I felt comfortable diverting a ball for this doily project. This video will just be a nice, chill, stitch with me kind of video, so if you'd like to grab a project of your own, get comfy and let's get stitching. I have a finished and very crinkly doily here. Next steps, I just have a few ends to weave in, and then we're gonna block it, and then we can put it on the hoop and it'll be done. Of course, I picked a pattern that is called sterling picot. Basically the whole last row is just a ton of picot stitches, and silly me picked this pattern forgetting how much I dislike making picot stitches. Don't get me wrong, I think they look cute. I really like the finished results. I think it's going to look great once it's blocked, but I just don't like the act of crocheting picot stitches. I think they're kind of a pain in the butt, and of course I picked a pattern that has like a million of them. Oh well, it's over, it's done, we're moving on. I love blocking cotton. There's just something so incredibly satisfying about pulling the pins out and seeing your thread stay exactly where you put it. Lovely. Got my doily. It is all done. It is ready to be placed in its frame, which is going to be this embroidery hoop. I think it's a 12-inch embroidery hoop. This was a little bit less than a foot. I want to say the final diameter ended up about 11 inches for the doily. I have seen people just put doilies in the embroidery hoop and just kind of stitch around to stretch it across the hoop, which I like. I think those are cute. However, I am not going to be doing that with mine because I think doilies are really shown to their best advantage if you have something high contrast behind them. So for example, because this is a lighter thread color, this kind of very pale dusty rose, I want something really dark behind it because I think that's going to make the design really pop and show it off to its best advantage. And I just don't think I have enough contrast between this thread and my very generic beigey white apartment wall. So I am going to put some fabric in the embroidery hoop and then just tack the doily on top of the fabric. So we do have that high contrast look and you can really see the design of the doily. My general, very loose color scheme in here is pink, green, and brown. And because I have pink thread, I think I'm going to go with either green or brown for the background. I have lots of quilting cotton in those colors. So let's dive into the stash and see what I've got. Better. Meh. Not bad. Too busy. Ooh, that's the one. If you enjoyed this video, maybe give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can see what I've got coming up next. In the meantime, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.